and welcome back to BEBB with another episode in the Let's Get Deeper series. Now, when you think of the current political climate and you think of the word immigrant, what comes to mind? Or when you think of the word refugee, what else comes to mind? Well, I think it's fair to say that in the world that we're living in now, those words carry a very negative perception. But on the show today, we have an incredible woman who's going to be sharing her story and showing us exactly what can happen when someone is just given a chance. So on the sofa today, we are joined by the amazing and the gorgeous Ramla. Thank you so much for joining us today.
You're very welcome. I'm a big fan. Anything for you.
Oh gosh, please. Thank you. No, thank you so much. And you're looking amazing.
Oh, thank
I was
you.
talking about the eyeshadow before.
Thank you.
Looking gorgeous. You need to teach me.
Do you know what? My sister taught me. Every day I'm like, so do you like my eyes? Do you like my eyes? She's
Okay.
like, yeah, you're good. I'm like, okay, thank you.
So either you or your sister?
I can't do makeup.
Okay.
I really can't. I've learned through my sister.
Through your sister?
Yeah.
Okay, no, but again, thank you so much. How are you? How's everything going?
I'm good. I'm living life. I'm enjoying myself after uni. I feel like I needed a break from I just need to enjoy myself, have fun, and enjoy my young years. Yeah.
You have to, sometimes you just have to take that break and
really
take out some time for yourself.
You really do. 3 years of
hard work and grind.
Now it's time to chill.
Yeah, no, most definitely. So a lot of people will probably know you from Backchat London. Yes. And if you don't know what Backchat London is, then I don't know where you are. You've definitely been living under a rock. 100%. But Backchat London, you know, is the online show that went completely viral. Everybody's watching it. People love to hate it.
100%.
Everyone has an opinion on it.
I feel like they love it. They just act like they hate it.
Yeah.
But leave it, girl. You love it.
Most definitely, because people are still watching it anyway.
100%.
So
110%.
yeah. So obviously from Backchat London, we also had Ariette actually on the show. So I think we need to just line everyone up and have everyone come on here. Yeah. But yeah, so a lot of people might just see you from Backchat London and think that is it. That's who you are, and that's just Ramla as a whole. But there is so much more to you than that, especially after you put out a particular tweet that went out, and I feel like we're just gonna go straight into it because we're not even gonna waste any time. So on the 13th of July, and I'm being very particular right now because I did my research. Okay.
I like that.
On the 30th of July, you put out a very touching tweet. Like that tweet, it was insane and it went viral. It went crazy. Yeah. Let me give you the numbers, okay? 249,000 likes, okay, and then 84.2 thousand retweets.
Wow.
So a lot of people, and it basically read, this is what it said: Mama, you ran from a civil war so I could be safe and get the education you didn't. Today you cried when you saw me in my robe. Did it for you, and then the crying emoji.
Oh, I don't want to cry.
Don't cry, girl, because if you start crying, I'm gonna start crying, and it's just gonna be a bit of a mess on the show. But firstly, obviously, you heard me speak about two very important terms in the climate that we're living in now.
Yeah, 100%.
Refugee, immigrant. What does refugee mean to you?
I feel like refugee just means a person that's been given a second chance, a person that's been given, you know, the blessing to live in a country where they're safe, they're healthy, you know. I just, for me, is a blessing, 100%. To be called a refugee is, I don't feel like has any negative like connotations towards it. I am a refugee and I'm happy, and obviously I'm taking advantage of what I've been given. But yeah, I'm proud to be a refugee, man.
There you go.
100%.
And so you just mentioned that you're a refugee, and obviously you mentioned your mum as well ran away from civil war. So tell us a little bit of the backstory behind that. And also please let us know, because I don't know about anyone else that might be watching this today, but I'm not going to lie to you and say that I know a whole lot about what is going on in Somalia, the civil war that's going there. So can you tell us a little bit about that as well?
So I was born in 95. My mum got married, I think, a year and a half earlier. I think around middle 93, 94. But Somalia is a very war-torn country. So right now is safe, but it's kind of building up. So I remember my mum got married very, very young. She got married around like 19, and she had me and my two sisters. We're all a year apart, and we were all living in Somalia. And then she found a visa to come to the UK, because my dad was studying abroad and stuff like that, so we could all come here. But the way that she kind of had to leave her family, she kind of had to leave everything that she's ever knew, So she came here. We came here in like 1999, I think it was. And yeah, my mum was 23 and had 3 kids.
So she literally packed you guys up.
Packed us up.
3 kids.
Yeah.
Your mum comes along here. Now, does she come here with a plan?
Nope.
Does she come here knowing anyone?
Nope.
So she just kind of...
What happened was my dad's side of family is all here, but my mum has no... Like, my mum was the only child as well, so she kind of came here not knowing much. So she literally just landed in Newcastle and found her own way to London. And yeah, and the rest is history, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the thing is with my mum, she knows what she wants. So I feel like that's where I get my like ambition from. She knew that she wanted to keep her kids safe. She knew that back home wasn't, you know, the best of environments to raise children. So yeah, she sacrificed her life for us, basically.
Yeah, and I'm so glad that you use that word sacrifice as well, because a lot of the time, you know, people might not necessarily see it as a sacrifice, but we're going to get a little bit more into that anyway. But kind of taking a few steps back, right? You yourself, do you remember anything about Somalia? What do you remember about your childhood?
I pretty much, I came here when I was like maybe like 3.5, 4, so I don't remember nothing. I don't remember nothing. I just remember going primary school, going secondary school. But yeah, I don't remember anything about Somalia, but when I read up on it and stuff like that, and when my mum tells me, my mum's childhood was amazing in Somalia, but then when the war came, it kind of like disrupted and like destroyed everything, really.
So I don't know if you know much about like how it happened or the history or anything like that.
It was civil war, North against South. Somalis are known for like tribalism and stuff like that, so that's what kind of, I don't know like the details, nor do I really like, not that I don't care, it's one of those things where I now live in a country where there's people from up north and there's people from down south, and I see everyone as my own, and don't bring that whole, I didn't bomb you, you didn't bomb me, it's fine, we're good.
We're all family.
We're all family, we speak the same language, same religion, I love you like my brother, and that's it, really. I don't see none of that stuff, but that's what, it's our history. We have to acknowledge it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, you can't pretend it doesn't exist.
We can't deny it. So yeah, what happened, and it was meant to. And yeah, that's about it. Really.
So what do you think it would have meant for you if your mum had stayed? Because like you said, it was a sacrifice.
Yeah.
She had to make a decision in that time. Yeah. But what do you think it would have meant for you if she said, "There's no way of us getting out"?
The thing is, my father's side, they were very wealthy, and my mum was not. So it was just one of those things where if I was still back in Somalia, I'd probably have some sort of education because of my dad.
Right.
But it wouldn't have been the greatest. I would probably be married by now, probably with children, which is.
And how old are you now?
I'm 22
Yeah.
next month.
I see how you had to, because I was like, 22? Were you not? 20?
No, I'm 21.
Okay, but you're going to be 22 real soon.
Do you know, I'm claiming 22 because 21 just sounds too young now.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm too old for 21.
You feel like in your soul you're much older.
Yeah.
Okay, no,
So
it's coming, it's soon.
It's soon, yeah. So, yeah, I'll probably be married with children, but do you know what it is? This is the life God wrote for us. This is the God life chose for us, so have to take it as a blessing, you know?
Yeah, and in terms of that sacrifice, because again, that word is so important for people to understand. Why did you use that particular word? Why sacrifice? What do you feel like was sacrifice, or your mum had to sacrifice in order for you guys to be here?
I feel like she sacrificed her family. I feel like she sacrificed not only bringing us all here, but her safety, our safety. She sacrificed leaving her loved ones, leaving everything she's known, everything like where she grew up, her childhood, you know, her friends, just to keep us safe. And when you think about that, it's like there's nothing you wouldn't do for your child. I haven't got children, but just to think about it, it's like I would go to the ends of the earth to keep my baby safe. And
you've actually, sorry to interrupt you, but you've actually said, I remember in one episode of Backchat, you actually said a particular, like in one of the episodes, children came up and you said something that has always stuck with me. You basically said, you know, my child would be like they've heard my heartbeat from inside of me. And so they're the closest thing that I could ever have, and I could never let them go because that's
no
me.
matter what, do you know what it is? That episode was about homosexuality. And I got attacked for it, and I was just like, do you know what? this is me. This is half of me running around. Do you know what I mean? This is my life. This is my heart running around. So there's no way I could ever, you know, put that human being that God's blessed me with in a difficult situation. I would always do the best to keep it safe, to keep it happy, to keep it, you know, to give it the best life. And that's exactly what my mum did for me, and I'm more than grateful for it. Yeah.
So let's fast forward now a little bit to your mum has made this huge decision.
Yeah.
Like you said, she left behind her family, her friends, she left behind everything that she's known to come to a brand new land, a country. I kind of wish that we had your mum right now. I'll just hug her and be like, I want to hear from you. But has she ever told you like any stories of what she had to go through, what she endured up until now?
I felt like she endured so much, because when we got here, I remember one of my sisters got really ill, and she was around like 1.5, and my mum literally thought she was gone. Like, she was gone. Mum was like, do you know what? You doctors deal with it. If she's gone, she's gone. And she literally sobbed. And me and my other sister, which are older than her, we were too young to know what was going on, but I have like little snippets of like memory. But yeah, then my other sister got diagnosed with diabetes, which was another like a ton of bricks on. And she was a single mum as well. Do you know what I mean? So she had to put all that burden, not knowing how to speak English. You know, there wasn't a lot of Somalis that there is now, and especially Somalis that also speak English. So she had to kind of like struggle with like, you know, finding us a home, you know, getting us like GPs and stuff like that, getting us into school. But she made it happen, man. She actually made it happen, which is crazy to think. If I went to like any other country that does speak no English, I would just be so, I don't know, I'd be in big trouble.
Yeah, it's crazy, don't you think? Because I think the same thing, like going to another land where you and even little things like the culture or the food, for example. Or like, where do you go to go and get food that you're used to or that you know about? You're seeing all these new things in front of you, but the fact that she conquered that challenge she still went ahead and did what she had to do is so admirable.
I know. She's amazing. She's an amazing woman.
Yeah. And how do you know, perceive like obviously you've kind of said she's an amazing woman, but seeing what your mum did, how does that make you feel?
It just makes me feel grateful. Number one, grateful. She's really a blessing. She's a very, very ambitious woman. She's taught us to be go-getters, to have work ethic, to, you know, never let anything come between us, let anything stop us. There's nothing that can stop you in reality. If you think about it, like, nothing is impossible as long as you put your mind to it. She put her mind to it, and she did what she had to do, and she did it. And she had that motivation, and that was us, obviously her children. But yeah, she's very motivating. Yeah,
no, most definitely. But, you know, in the beginning, once again, I kind of, you know, mentioned how a lot of the times when you think of these words, people have quite negative perceptions on whether it be refugee. And refugee for me is a bit of a strange one for people to feel negatively about, but obviously everyone's entitled to their opinion. Only because I think, you know, refugee is different because you actually want to be safe. You're running away from a war, a civil war. But why do you think people have such a negative perception when, as soon as the word immigrant comes out or the word refugee comes out? Why do you think people think so negatively of it?
When it comes to immigrant, I feel like immigrants are stealing our jobs, immigrants are coming and taking our land, stuff like that. I feel like immigrants is wider than refugee, because I think anyone can be an immigrant, whether you come from a safe country or a war country. But when it comes to refugee, I feel like refugee is basically just saying I'm here to seek safety. I am not safe back home. If I was safe back home, I would not be here. It's just one of those things where, as a refugee, you're looking for a better life, because unfortunately where you come from, that's not what's there. So I feel like when it comes to refugee, I feel like it comes with a little bit of sympathy.
Okay.
But when it comes to immigrant, I just feel like immigrant is just used negatively, because like, your immigrants are stealing our jobs. Immigrants are doing this. Immigrants are doing that. They're buying all our land and all this. But in reality, we're just doing stuff that you don't want to do.
And okay, so let's talk about that. Yeah. Do you think it is a case of people that come here are just willing, because the argument often is that people that come over, for from different countries, and let's throw the net a bit wider. So let's just say immigrants, for example. You might not necessarily be a refugee, but an immigrant is that, you know, immigrants are willing to do the jobs that other people that live here do not want to do.
100%.
Do you see that yourself?
I feel like immigrants have more of a work ethic than the people that were born and raised here. Okay. I feel like immigrants, they have a purpose. I feel like I'm not going to say all of them, but some of them do claim benefits or whatever that is, but majority of them that I've met are here working hard, providing for their family, and searching of a I feel like this is the UK. We're one of the, you know, the strongest nations in the world. So for them to come here and just look for a better life, they come here for uni, they stay here, they work here, and regardless if your doctor is an immigrant or not, you're still going to go to that doctor. It is what it is. Do you know what I mean? So I just feel like immigrants, they're not necessarily all here to take your land, but they are very hard-working people, and it's just facts, I feel like.
Yeah. And so what about the flip side as well? Obviously, you can't speak for every immigrant, every refugee or whatever, but just as, you know, the topic has led to it anyway. Just in your opinion, for those that do feel as though, well, okay, it's all well and fine trying to help people. It's all well and fine letting people in. But we just don't have enough money, enough resources, enough space. And like, you know, especially recently, the kind of the words that have been used are things like pressure, lack of resources, we're running out of these different things, housing crisis, all these kind of things. So what about on that front, and the fact that some people are kind of making the argument that okay, we want to help people, but there's just not enough space.
How long does it go for?
How long do you open up the doors for?
I feel like in that sense, I feel like definitely you have to prioritize. I do feel like, you know, there's a lot of people coming to this country only because it is one of the best countries when it comes to taking people in. But as a refugee, as someone that's claiming, you know, refuge and safety, that needs to be a priority for someone that's coming as an immigrant from another country, which is safe. Do you know what I mean? So it's one of those things where we are running out of, you know, resources and space and housing and everything, but we can't close our doors to people. We just need to make do what we've got. There might be a time where we need to say no, but then that would be for the right reasons. We can't physically take any more people, and it is what it is. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. We don't have land forever. This is a little island. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it is compared to other countries as well.
We're
you know,
tiny.
A pretty small island. But I like the way that you kind of in speaking about it in this different way, because you're kind of thinking of it as like you said before, people are not, especially refugees, not necessarily coming here because they just want to be here. No, a lot of people are coming here literally because they would die if they were in the lands that we're in. So a lot of people come because they have no choice. And they're just trying to, you know, seek for a better life, which is what your mum did with her kids as well.
With her kids,
and going back to that tweet as well, because the tweet literally like blew up.
I know.
Tell us a little bit about like how that whole stuff happened online, because you know how the social media is so powerful.
Crazy.
So how did that like all happen? How did you feel?
So I remember on the 13th, so that same day that I posted that, it was my graduation. So I graduated, it was me, and I had my sister and my mum there. So we're running late in the morning, we're rushing.
Oh my gosh.
So
really, on your graduation day, you're running late?
Do you know
the
what?
one day.
The one day.
There's only a few days.
Early.
I see there's only a few days
Wedding
where you should actually be wedding day,
graduation.
and graduation.
Yeah.
I don't know if anything else, but like maybe funerals, but like maybe you should actually be on time for funerals, please. Okay. Yeah, because that's disrespectful.
That's very disrespectful.
But there's only a few things.
Yeah, you need to be on. But yeah, as usual, I was running late. So we get there, we get to the ceremony, we all sit down. No. Before, we had to, you know, there's a little, you know, hub, so we go in, get our hats and our robes and stuff, but parents are not allowed in. Okay. So you have to go in by yourself with your card and give your card and get your robe, and then they fit your hat for you. So I was like, Mum, hold my bag, I'll be back, I'm just going to get my robe. She was all good, she was fine, she was smiling, whatever. I go inside now. Got my phone, I'm just on my phone, got my head. I really didn't, but I felt proud of myself, but it was just literally a hat and a robe. Like, it didn't mean that much to me. I was like, yeah, let's just get this day over with. I know this graduation ceremony is going to be long and boring, but it's going to go by fast, yeah? So I've gone in now, I've got my robe on, my hat, and I walk out, and I'm literally just on my phone. And I look up, and I just see my mum in tears. I'm like, what happened? Are you okay? Like, what's going on? And she's like, oh my God, I'm so proud of you. And then my sister, being my sister, she Snapchatted the whole thing.
Yeah.
So I didn't even know she was Snapchatting, but my mum was crying. I'm like, oh, Mum, what's wrong? Like, are you okay? Like, what? She goes, I'm just so proud of you. Like, this day I've been waiting for. Da, da. And I feel like the thing that got her was I was the first person to graduate from her side of the family.
Right.
So she's never seen a graduate before. She's never been to a graduate. Like, that's all new to her. So she was just in tears. And then she was like, yeah, I'm so proud of you. Well done. And then she stopped crying. And then I had no idea my sister snapped that, so I didn't know. So I'm just in the ceremony waiting for like everything to and I'm just going through Snapchat and I see that. And I was like, oh, that's nice. Didn't think anything of it. Go home, we had dinner, and then my friends wanted to take me out for dinner, so we all went out. And then I just like, oh, you should send me that snap. And then I just literally thought, okay, let's just put it on Twitter as my graduation, whatever. Put it on Twitter. And then what I wrote as the caption was generally what I was feeling. Right. Like, that's what was in the moment, do you know what I mean? So, put that up now. I put my phone down, I'm just enjoying. My phone is going off.
Blowing up.
My phone is going off. I said, oh, 1,000 retweets, I'm excited. I said, wow, I've never hit 1,000.
I made it.
I made it. Turn my notifications off. I just like, do you know what? I've seen it now, it's fine. Go to sleep, wake up the next morning, I am on 79,000 likes. I said, what? JK Rowling has now retweeted me. The girl from Hot 97 has retweeted me. And people are having arguments. They're like, oh, you know, this is what America's this, America's that. I was like, I'm not American.
Wait, what?
I said,
so wait, what were people saying about this is America, this,
they
America,
were
that?
this, like, oh, you see, you know, Trump, you know, you see all the immigrants that you're trying to kick out, look at this.
Right, so they were seeing it as like, it's actually a positive thing.
Yeah, but they thought I was an American. I was like, and then I had to put, I said, I'm not American, I'm British, yeah? And then a guy, one of the MPs or something, was like, don't take credit for our amazing youth. And I was like, yes, I'm British and I'm proud. Like, America, you're good, yeah, but nah.
We're on this side.
I'm on this side, and I'm happy to be on this side. But yeah, and then people are messaging me like, and then I remember Glamour magazine called me, BBC News, BuzzFeed America. Wow. They were all, my phone was blowing up. Like, can we have interview this, interview that? I was like, yeah, I was doing back-to-back phone interviews. And I was like, wow, like, this is actually crazy. Like, because something so natural, something so genuine, something so, you know, what I felt in the moment blew up like this. And I was just like, whoa, like, this is too much. But yeah, I have to give the credit to my mum. Yeah. That's it, yeah.
And she was, that video honestly made me want to cry because I saw it and you could tell just the joy and the happiness that she had on her heart. Yeah. And a lot of us, you know, live for those moments where we can, you know, truly make our parents proud or just make people around us proud. So you certainly did in that moment.
I know. And people quoting me like, I can't wait for my graduation. I was like, you have to work hard for it.
Definitely.
You have to work hard for
I guess it was like inspirational for people to see as well. And to see and also to be represented. 100%. Because that's very important. You know, you're a Somalian girl. Yeah. To say that, you know, you came through all these trials and tribulations, you made it through and you did it. You did it well. Honestly, amazing. Now, the only other thing that I have to ask you before we wrap up, because I could literally talk to you forever, but I know you have to like run at some point. But if there was anyone watching right now who might have a particular perception of refugees, of immigrants even, of just people who come from different lands, who come to seek something else, but they kind of see it in a more negative way and they see it in a way that maybe they don't really believe in the whole, oh, you're coming here to work. You're just here for whatever reason it is. What would you say to them?
I would definitely say be open-minded. These people are human just like you are. They love just like you. They live just like you. And people, just put yourself in their shoes. Be empathetic. Think about where they came from, think about how they got here, because people don't just come on planes. People legit are on tiny boats and people die, do you know what I mean, just to make it here and just to make it safe. So most people are not trying to steal your jobs. They're not trying to make a living for themselves, trying to be something, trying to make something of themselves, keep their family safe, keep their family healthy. And you just legit just be empathetic. That's the best word I can use, because you never know what someone's been through. And that's when it gets hard, because you think, do you know what? When you actually listen to people and you speak to them, you're like, wow, you do not look like you've been through that much. And it's like, do you know what? Just be empathetic. That's the best word I can use, yeah.
And okay, I have one more thing, because I really would have finished it on that, but
Go.
Ramla now.
Yeah.
What is Ramla now? What is Ramla doing? And how would you describe yourself?
Do you know what? Ramla right now is just taking every opportunity as it goes. I'm not limiting myself. I'm no longer fearful. I'm very much, I've grown into myself. I've grown into the woman I am today. And yeah, I'm just trying to have fun and make, inspire more people.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, before we leave, we do have to ask, if anyone wants to follow you, they want to find out more about you, get to know you, how can they find you?
It's basically Ramla Tyrow, so RamlaTyrow on all social networks. And Twitter is my first name and then _TY.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so make sure that we'll find you
Please.
and get to know you a bit better.
No, Twitter's a funny place.
Yeah, it's an interesting place.
Very interesting place.
No, but thank you so much.
You're
thank
very
you.
welcome, honey.
And on that note, I think that's the perfect place to end it. Thank you so much for coming today and for being so honest and open as well. And please, can you just hug your mum just for me? Because just tell her that, Mama, we love you, 100%. We appreciate you. Yeah. At one point, I'm gonna see and I'm gonna hug her myself. But no, thank you so much for sharing your story, honestly. But once again, thank you so much for joining us for yet another episode on the Let's Get Deeper series with our wonderful guest today, Ramla. Make sure you join us again next time. Take care.